the British Grand Prix Power Rankings. We're good to go. I've had to have a think about this one this week. Not a lot of significant movement in the top 10 this week because like a lot of guys that we have usually sitting between kind of, well, in the middle of that top 10-ish area, they're all a little bit shit this week, weren't they? Mir, Bagnaia, Ralph Fernandez. So it's really hard to kind of move guys about because it wasn't like anyone that had a good finish was really not on the fringes of the top 10 that much. Like Rins and that. I mean, he's been nowhere. He's not going in the top 10 off one performance, right? So struggling a little bit to kind of make some movements within the top 10 this week, but there are a couple of surprises in there and there is some movement, slight movement near the top. So we're going to get into it, I guess. Quick first up, couple of dishonorable mentions. One in particular, Marc Marquez. Tell me what you thought of this move, guys, because, some people, think it's just an overambitious overtake, bit too keen at the start of the race, blah, blah, blah. Some are saying it's just a mistake. I don't know if I quite saw it that way, to be honest. I mean, Martin goes in, gets a bit rough with him. Hey, it happens. Rubbing's racing and all that. And then I think Marc's returning serve there. Tell me what you think. I 100% think Marc is returning serve. I think he's trying to sit Martin up. And not just like in an aggressive overtake kind of way. I think he's looking to really sit him up. And I think he just fucks it up. And drops the front end and just takes them both out. That's how I saw it. I think he did it on purpose. He obviously didn't mean to crash, but I think he meant to make contact and really aggressively go at him. A bit of a get one back for what Martin did to him earlier in the lap. Maybe that's not right. Tell me how you saw it. Like I said, I really need to know how other people are seeing that, because for me, that's a big old return of serve. And I'm really surprised there's not been more talk of penalties. I think that's surely a penalty. I know he didn't mean to crash and take him out, but when you go in that aggressive and lose the front and take someone out, I thought we'd be maybe a long lap or at least just one, something. But yeah, nothing. So yeah, that's my dishonorable mention for the week, along with anyone who else did shit. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, Miguel Oliveira and stuff. It's a shocking weekend for guys like that. So anyway, let's just get into the top 10 and, let's not mess about, Tony, shall we? Let's just do it. Quickly. Few riders, I want to say one. We've got two. We have got two. Two riders dropping out of our top 10 this week. They are Jorge Martin, because of the DNF. I mean, I really wanted to keep him in there, but I mean, there was a big chance that this week's top 10 was going to be almost the same as last week's if I was not harsh. So I had to be a little bit harsh with some guys and a little bit generous to others. So with Jorge Martin's out, he'll probably be back in after the next race. We know he's going to go get a result somewhere. And also dropping out, again, maybe a little harsh, Johann Zarco. He's on a bit of a poor run, and we do like the power rankings to be form-based rather than overall season-based. So it's really takes into account the most recent Grand Prix. So we've got rid of Johann Zarco. He's a meteoric drop, really, from third or fourth in the rankings not that many Grand Prix ago, and he's on a bit of a poor run. So we've dropped him out, and we've just found room for a couple of other guys in there at the bottom of the top 10. And while we're talking about that, let's talk about him right now. The first one that we've snuck in is at number 10, Marco Bezzecchi. He's stringing together a few days. We got a tough weekend, the second weekend in Austria, but other than that, he is on a pretty consistent and strong run, and I think he's doing really well. He'll easily finish third in that World Championship by a fair way, I'd say, and he'll cement himself a place in MotoGP for next season with VR46, I'd say. Number 9, again, he was in the top 10. I thought it was super impressive early in the season when he was picking up these 6th, 7th, 8th place finishes on what we were assuming was a pretty shit bike. It's Aleix Espargaro. It's finally got that podium. I pretty finally get that podium. I thought he deserved a spot in there. He's at number 9. He's probably been hovering around the top, 11th, 12th to 15th range if our power rankings were that long, but they're not. So we've got him in there as well. Really great weekend, and I really like Aleix. I think he's doing a great job. I think he always has been that kind of guy that goes and just does a great job for his team, and that's it. And he's doing a great job now, and it'll be interesting to see how good he actually is doing once we get Vinales on it for maybe like 2 or 3, 4 races as he settles in. Is he going to start catching Aleix? Or is he just going to beat him straight away? Or will he never catch him? Is Aleix the best rider on the grid? I think we're about to find out. But anyway, at number 8, dropping a spot this week, young Sergio Garcia didn't finish in the points, started way near the back. I actually didn't catch why that was, by the way. I didn't get to see any qualifying on Saturday. I was at work. But yeah, started, 24th or something like that, and didn't actually manage to bring himself up into the points at even. So finished outside the top 15, I think, and just, not a great result for him. So we've dropped him a place, but until then, his form's been exemplary. Podiums every week, pretty much. So we've kept him in there. At number 7, up 3 places. This wasn't really on the back of a good performance. It's just because everyone else around him was a bit shit. Brad Binder's up to 7th. He was 10th last week after, old big balls performance. So he was up to 10th, and just because everyone around him, we've dropped some Zarcos and Martins and things like that, it's just worked out that he's up to 7th. It wasn't a bad ride from him. He's ended up 6th. And I think that was a decent result without being spectacular. He's 7th. Somehow he's found himself there. And then not much change here for the next 3 guys because they were all poor. But again, no one else was good enough to come and overtake them. It's basically the only reason they're staying where they are. At 6, Bagnaia. At 5, Mir. At 4, Raul Fernandez. Bagnaia and Mir just had a really bad Grand Prix each. Complained about the tyres. That's probably a legitimate thing, I'd say. I think they might have been the guys that went with the soft, or I'm not sure what it was, but that tyre just didn't work really at all for anyone. And they dropped back through the field, both finished outside the top 10. Would love to have dropped them further because the performances were pretty bad, but again, it was a little bit out of their hands, and also no one else was really that good. And Raul Fernandez, the Wonder Boy, struggled and then crashed. Yeah, at least when you're struggling, maybe you got to try and keep on it because he's lost touch a little bit in that championship again. We thought he was bringing it back. He had really good... I thought that the momentum maybe was swinging towards him a little bit. But no, not anymore. He'll need to go and win sort of a couple out of the next 3 or 4, I'd say, to really put the pressure back on at the top of Moto2 there. At number 3... dropping a place, Pedro Acosta. Again, starting at the back, same story as Sergio Garcia, but actually got himself into the points. Once again, I don't know if it was just bad qualifying for them or if they got penalised. I know it happens a lot in Moto3 with penalising riders for dodgy riding in qualifying and stuff. So maybe that happened, probably. I don't know. I can't imagine they both, the 2 championship leaders, qualified like outside the top 20. But maybe they did. Let me know. I haven't actually been bothered to have a look. I've had a busy week, but I haven't ever been bothered to have a look. But I just took it for what it was. He actually was a decent ride to get himself back up to where he did. It was just a shame that the field split when it did, and he got caught in the second group rather than the group that was chasing the leaders. So otherwise, I think he would have been pacey. Obviously, would have had the speed to go with that group and maybe finish mid that group and get himself nearer the front and more points. But yeah, he just lost touch with that group a little bit, but had a decent day considering his start position. Up to number 2. It's my boy Remy. He started again. Like I said when I was talking about Raul Fernandez there, thought the momentum had swung back towards Fernandez from the last Grand Prix, but Remy again shows his class. I don't know what the vibe is around for people that aren't Australian, right? For me, I think he's brilliant. I think he's, along with maybe a couple other guys, one of the next big... I think people watch out for him in MotoGP because I think he's going to do the business, but I don't know. I get the sense that people are a bit more on the Raul Fernandez bandwagon. Not that you have to be on one or the other. They're both brilliant. I think maybe because he's still a rookie in that championship and stuff. And fair enough, he's doing an incredible job for a rookie, Raul Fernandez. But I get the sense that people are a bit more excited about him than Remy. I think right now, I know he's a few more years experience in Moto2 and it makes sense, but he just looks better for me. Even when he has struggled last Grand Prix, Raul Fernandez swings the title chase back into his favour. He's catching, and Remy here just rides a master race, puts the pressure on. Fernandez obviously wants to settle for whatever points he can get there, but obviously feels the need to push because Remy's turning the heat up at the front, and Bezecchi couldn't go with him in the end. It was just, I thought it was brilliant, and I think he is brilliant, and I think he's going to go closest this season to anybody in these power rankings that can actually challenge our number one, because he's just staying there. He's been there all year. It's Fabio Quartararo. He's not moving from there, I'm telling you. Another incredible ride from him. He just really broke him this week. It was more Lorenzo Stoner-like, where you just go as quick as you can and you just win. You just break them at the front. You're just grinding down the spirits of the guys chasing. No one's going to touch him, I don't think. And that's it for this week, guys. Tell me what you thought of the weekend. I thought it was really good 3 races. The Moto3 race was good. Mr. Reformed Fanati did well in Moto3. The Moto2 race, like I said, was really good. MotoGP, we got some, I think it was 6 manufacturers in the top 6. That's why MotoGP's the best motorsport in the world for me, comfortably, because you don't get that anywhere else. 6 manufacturers in the top 6. Guys like Rins, down and out. These guys are out of form. Miller, looking a little bit down and out. They can turn up one week and turn it around, and they can ride at the front, and they can give it a crack. And Aleix delivering that podium finally for Aprilia. I loved to see it. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll have another video coming before the next Grand Prix, Fantasy MotoGP video. Let's get an update on that. And other than that, guys, that's it. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week lead up. I'll see you before the next Grand Prix, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.